In this video, I'll show you exactly how I built a faceless channel that pays me $4,500 a month and I barely even touch it. And just so you know, I'm not bullshitting. Here's the channel. Here you can just see we just recently had a $300 day, $200 day. So it's round about making $150 a day. Now, who am I? I'm Steffen. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars with faceless YouTube channels, and I've helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. For example, Stamp here, who got monetized in literally 3 weeks, or Martin, who've made $31,000 in one single month, or here another student making $24,000 in one single month. Now, if you're interested in getting the exact same results, just check out the first link in the video description, book a call with me, and let's get you the exact same results. Now, how have I actually been able to build like a channel that pays me $4,500 a month without showing my face, without touching it, without anything? All right. So obviously I'm doing some work, but most of the work is actually outsourced, but we'll get to that. So the first thing we obviously need to do is we need to find a niche. Now, for this, we want to open an incognito window or even create a brand new channel just for niche research. Now, a tool I would highly recommend is ElevenLabs. I'll link it down below. With that tool, you can just find all of the competitors in a specific niche. You can see how much a channel is making. You can really analyze a channel, and it's like 13 euros a month. So it's 100 million% worth it. And it saved me thousands and thousands of hours already. So this is kind of how you do niche research. Let me just go over it very quickly and touch it very briefly. So here we can see what we're going to do now is we're just going to open an incognito. I even have a video on this channel where I show you guys how I find a faceless niche in 10 minutes. So make sure to check that video out. But all you do is you literally come to your search bar and then type in anything you are interested in. For example, history, just as an example. Then we would just go, let me see if I can find anything. So now we would first look for faceless channels. So here we can, for example, see already a faceless channel.
That is the span.
This is a bedtime history channel. And they very, like, people like them a lot. But let's keep on going. So all we're doing now is we're literally just clicking on faceless channels here on the sidebar. Now, I don't really want to go too far into this sleep history kind of niche, because it's already quite saturated, but you just keep on clicking here. Like here, for example, let's see, 113,000 subscribers. You just keep on going here on the side, right? Until you find faceless channels. Like this is, for example, already a faceless channel, but you can just subscribe to it, like the video. And then after you've done it for quite a while, you will see that your YouTube homepage will literally consist out of only faceless channels. So here's a faceless channel. Then we have one here. Here's another one, faceless channel, another faceless channel, faceless channel. So as you can see, like we did it for like literally 1 minute or something, and we already see a bunch of faceless channels on our YouTube homepage. So let me just very quickly open one of my accounts so I can just show you how that would actually look like after you've done it for a little bit, like for a while. So let me just open this account and show you guys exactly. So this is one of my niche research accounts. So I just name it niche research. You can have multiple of these accounts. And then on these accounts, you will see that it's all faceless channels, like literally everything is faceless. And on this account, you can now do niche research, subscribe to the channels, and YouTube will then obviously automatically show you more of that kind of content. And they will also show you a bunch of new channels you haven't subscribed to. And then when ElevenLabs comes in, is just as an example, you can literally scroll down. And this is exactly how I found my niche as well. Literally by just doing this, scrolling on YouTube, looking for gaps in the market. That's obviously very important. And now let's go up. So now we can just go here to subscribe account. This is ElevenLabs, one of ElevenLabs features. We just do like that. Channels under 60,000 subscribers. And now we can see here, deep current report, just as an example. I already know this channel, but ElevenLabs literally filters out all of the channels. And here, just as an example, another one, this is now a war channel, might not be the best. Let's see if I'm actually subscribed to it. No. So here we can see small channel doing very well. So let's see how many views they're doing a week. 1 million views a week. So this, just as an example, we already found a niche. All right. Now, what does a good niche actually look like? That, like, there are criteria, especially for, you know, the thing that I'm doing, because I'm doing it a bit differently. But the criteria for a good niche is very simple. There are under 5 smaller channels creating content in that niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. That means there is high demand and low supply. These 2 words should be in your brain, because YouTube is a marketplace and most people forget that, right? You are looking for niches where there's high demand and low supply. You can very often see that with very small channels getting a lot of views. That means there are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers. Gonna be almost impossible to compete against channels like this, just because they have way more trust from YouTube than you. They have more money than you. They have established teams, like you will not be able to compete against them. Then there are no smaller channels failing. Very important, most people only look at the big channels but never at the small ones. It's very important that they are still small channels succeeding. Niche is not older than 6 months. Then I can create better content than my competitors. Am I interested in this niche? This is not a must. As long as you build a team that actually has interest in the niche, then is the niche monetizable? Very important. That's also, for example, something you can see with NextLev. So you can see it's monetized. And NextLev, like I already said, it's $13 a month or euros a month, one of the best tools on the market. Then it's a huge bonus if they post long videos, because then you can make more money. Right? Your RPM automatically goes higher because YouTube can place more ads on your videos. Very important for me is that the videos are super easy to create. All right? Because in the end of the day, what I'm doing and what I want to do is I want to build low maintenance channels where I literally can go in once a day for 5 minutes, just look for a video topic, send it over to my team, and they do the rest. I don't want to review videos. I don't want to do anything of that. So that's why I like to run low maintenance channels where the videos are very easy to create, right? And that are, for example, let me see. Just as an example, this is now not in the same niche, like absolutely not in the same niche. Obviously, I do also run breaking news type channels. But if we look at this video quality here, just as an example, we can see it's very basic editing. It's a very basic video. And that's exactly the kind of channels we're running. And because of the editing being so basic, I pay around about $15 per 30 minutes. All right. So my costs of running a channel is very, very, very low. Okay. So easy to create is super, super important. And then very important, guys, give yourself enough time to do niche research and do not rush the process, because if you rush this process, you are gonna have to start again. All right. You will have to start from zero again. So this is super important. Then obviously, once you've found your niche, once you've verified your niche with these, with this criteria, it is very important to get your channel ready. So yes. So before we can get our channel ready, it's very important to know there are 3 different type of accounts. And then number 1 is, for example, a brand new account. That's the account you can literally just go ahead and create for free right now. Then you can buy aged accounts. These are just accounts from 2009, 2006, very old accounts. People like them because they have a really high trust score. So the platform or YouTube trusts these accounts already. That means they sometimes get a harder push, but I do see brand new channels performing really well. Then we have pre-monetized channels, which I would not recommend for most of you guys. Everyone who's just starting out, I would not recommend pre-monetized channels. Now, how do you actually go ahead and warm up your account for the highest trust score possible, right? Is just use the account as a normal user. Watch 1 to 2 hours of content per day, subscribe to videos, subscribe to channels, comment under videos, like comments, reply to comments, like videos, do all of these things, but don't do it in a bot way, because if you do it in a bot way, YouTube is obviously going to flag your channel. Now do this for 1 week, right? You can also do it longer. The longer you do it, the better it's going to be, to lower the risk of a low trust score. Okay, this is super important. What I always do is I have multiple channels, just a backup. So if I find a niche, we can just go ahead and start the niche right away. Then choosing video topics. This is actually one of the only things I do on my channels. So simply because this is almost as important as choosing the niche. I choose the niche, I choose video topics, okay? So we always go for proven concepts, but never steal the video topics one-on-one. Because if we steal one-on-one, firstly, we won't get any views. And secondly, we are at risk of getting copyright strikes, right? Then thirdly, we always have a look at the supply and demand on video topics. So we look at how many people have created a video on this specific topic already. How did it perform? And if we see like, hey, 1 or 2 people created a video on it and it performed really well, and we have like a little bit of a different angle, then we go ahead and create a video about that too, right? But if we now see that hundreds of people created a video on the exact same topic, we would not go and create another video because of supply and demand, all right? Then we only choose outlier videos. Now, what are outlier videos? Outlier videos are videos that have performed way better than, the channel's average. Now, if we look, for example, at this channel, I always like to choose very recent outliers, not like outliers that are 11 days old, because this is just too old. Now, we can though see that this is a huge outlier on this channel. So if we look at the last 2 weeks, we can see this is an outlier video. So we'd actually go ahead and recreate it. What I would not do is go to the most popular videos and recreate these, because then again, the supply and demand will not be correct, right? There will be a bunch of people that have already created videos to that specific topic. Very important. Then we just lock in our first 5 videos and we get started. So then we have a specific team structure, right? So firstly, for the script, we usually use AI for scripts. Like, I don't know why you would be using a human script writer these days. Obviously, if you go branded route or, then you can always go ahead and hire a script writer. But for me, to be honest, if you prompt AI really good, like the scripts end up being really, really good. Then for the voiceovers, we usually use AI too. You can use Fiverr, we use ElevenLabs, or currently we actually canceled our ElevenLabs and we're using GenAIPro, where you can get super, super cheap voiceovers. So here, for example, 50 million credits for $140, which is super, super cheap. All right. And then we have our video editors, okay? I actually need to add something here, but we'll get to that. But we have our video editors, which we actually hired on Upwork, just because on Upwork, you will be able to find video editors for like $15, $20 for a 30-minute video. Now, due to us creating videos that are pretty simple to create, we can hire beginners and train them up, right? So what we actually have is, and some of you guys might know this, but we have a manager, right, for every channel roundabout almost. Like it's a bit, some managers have more than one channel, some have multiple, some have only one channel. So it's a mix up. And then, depending on how long the manager has been with us. But for each manager, we have different kind of editors working under them, right? So he manages the editors and makes sure that the editors firstly complete the video on time, that he can upload it. Then we also have a head of content. He's reviewing the videos and training our team members, right? Now, what are these two guys getting? So they're both getting like 5%, right? And they get $3 per video that we post. All right. Now, this is actually included in the $15 already. So that's how these two people are making money. And due to us posting a lot of videos every single day, they're obviously making a good amount of money, right? So this takes off so much work from my shoulder, because I don't have to speak to the editors. I don't have to review content. I don't have to do anything of that, right? And then we have our thumbnail designer. Sometimes I just go ahead and do the thumbnails myself. For most of these channels, the thumbnails are extremely simple to create. So sometimes I create them myself, but we also have thumbnail designers, which we got from Upwork, right? Who create these thumbnails for us. In most cases, like I said, it's literally 2 minutes of thumbnail, 3 minutes of thumbnail. So it goes very, very quickly. As I've mentioned, we're trying to run low maintenance channels we can run for a very long time with not a lot of effort. All right. By the way, these aren't big channels. These are like smaller channels doing $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. And then what we do is we just run a bunch of them. And through that, we, diversify a lot and still make a lot of money. All right. So for the whole team management and everything, as you guys know, here's, the team, how we work. So we obviously have the manager. Let me just throw that again. Then the head of content, and then the editors under these guys, right? So just do like this, editor. Now, how do we all communicate? So I only communicate with the manager and the head of content, right? So there's a WhatsApp group of, us three inside, okay? For each specific channel. So we always know like, hey, we're speaking about this channel or this channel. They, right, speak to these guys and let me know if there are any important questions. Most of the basic questions are all answered by the manager or the head of content, right? Then how do we structure everything? Like, how do we track the videos? How do we do all of that? So it's very funny, but it's not like most people actually do it. So we simply use Google Sheets, right? Why? Because I like to keep things very simple to not confuse the new members, right? We've tested it. We've seen like, hey, we've used Trello, we've used Notion, and we've used Google Sheets, right? Most people get really confused in the beginning. I don't know why, if they use Trello or Notion. So Google Sheets was like the easiest for us to say like, hey, okay, let's use Google Sheets. So all of video topics and all of the topics I find, literally, I just put them in Google Sheets. They do the rest, right? So I literally just go ahead in the morning, 5 to 30 minutes, right? Depending on how much effort I actually do to pick a video topic, which is not good. You should always pick like with a lot of effort. But let's say, for example, I go in and I spend like 5 minutes a channel, just picking 1 or 2 video topics. Sometimes I find a lot, sometimes I don't find a lot. And I just put it in. The manager goes in, he messages the team members like, hey, there are videos that need to be created. They create the videos. The manager uploads the videos for me, runs the channel for me. And I just have a look at like, hey, how the channel's doing, is everything fine, are the videos okay? Sometimes I obviously do check-ins. Now, all of this shouldn't sound like, hey, this is a business model where you don't have to do anything. Obviously, it takes a lot of work to get to the point. You need to go through a bunch of freelancers to, in the end of the day, find the right people to be able to do stuff like this. But this is what we're currently building. And that's how I've built the channel that makes me $4,500 a month, with me maybe spending 2 hours a month on that channel, right? So keep in mind, if you're interested in working close with me, just check out the first link in the video description, book a call with me, and let's see if you would be a good fit. And then we'll see each other in the next video.